Demonic alert. If you thought the ending had closed all doors, hold on. Everything points to the boys still being alive. Celine plays both sides as the silent villain, and Rumi's mom might not be where we all think. Yes, it sounds crazy, but in K-pop Demon Hunters, chaos has rules. And today, we are going to decipher them with a fan's magnifying glass, heart in hand, and zero fear of plot twists. Stay until the end because there are clues hidden in plain sight. And watch out, the best is yet to come. Let's start with the scene that ignited all the series. Gina sacrifices herself for Rumi and disintegrates under Gima's power. Tragic? Yes. Definitive?
Not at all. The key is in that flower adorning Rumi's sword, a symbol of life and rebirth.
Rumi is not just any hunter. She is a hybrid, half human, half demon. And that makes her a possible vessel for Gina's soul. If Rumi represents both life and death, her arc in the second part could be to reveal the ability to return what was lost. Think about it. The movie showed us that detail of the flower on purpose. Nothing in Demon Hunters is placed without reason. If Gina's soul was anchored to Rumi, her return wouldn't be a miracle. It would be a logical consequence of the lore itself. And here comes the first twist. The boys don't disappear, they retreat. Let's start with Baby Say. In the quick cut of the battle, we see him next to Mastery. And in the next shot, boom. Baby Say is no longer there. In an edit where every second is information, that absence matters. It's not a mistake, it's a narrative decision. Baby Sai fled when he sensed that the hunters were escalating their power. For what purpose?
To return with strategy. Smart villains do not play their last card in the first round. Now then, Mystery. That micro-instant when Zoe throws the dagger at his neck is pure gold for frame-by-frame analysis. If you pause, you see it. The weapon does not reach him. Red smoke is released before the impact. What does it imply? Demonic interference, short teleport, blood shield. Call it what you want, the result is the same. Mystery escapes unscathed. This kind of no-contact hit is a classic device to leave the outcome in controlled suspense. It's not death, it's a teaser. But wait, because this doesn't end here. It's time for romance. Yes, in the sequence, someone also names it as romance, and that slip doesn't invalidate anything. Rather, it reminds us that the fast-paced chaos deliberately confuses. Almira has him on top, tries to finish him off, and she responds with the back of the sword. After that hit, romance disappears from the frame. Result? Ortese Santa Sala Saia? Exit from the scene, not elimination. When an antagonist falls off camera without evidence of disintegration, in Demon Hunters it means reserved for the sequel. Subtle, but very clear. And we come to the most controversial case. Abby, also seen written as Abby in the same block. Unlike the rest, here they do show us abdomen combustion to ash. Ready? And? Breathe. Let's remember the functions. Demons can copy appearances. In the chaos of that fight, Mira throws Abby, crosses paths with romance. The camera moves away and returns just as Abby's body turns to dust. In that time gap, the possibility of a shape change fits. Another demon takes on Abby's face and the real one escapes. Risky? Yes. Impossible? Not in a world where red smoke saves your neck in microseconds. Furthermore, if all the boys bring sparkle and music to the plot, it makes sense narratively to reserve them. And that leads us to the high voltage moment. Magikank, part of the team, confirmed that the boys are not dead, that they are alive. Need more fuel for the hype? With the sequel underway, the board is being rearranged. We are not talking about seasonal ghosts, we are talking about key pieces for part 2. This fact does not close the discussion, it opens it.
If they live, in what state do they return? Sexier, sorry, more evil than ever, with new packs, with a plan we didn't see coming? Subscribe if you ever screamed at a plot twist in Demon Hunters, and like before, Zoe throws that dagger again and leaves us with another unresolved mystery. Let's go back to Rumi. If the theory of Gina's soul inside her is correct, the protagonist will not only grow in strength but also in responsibility. Carrying another soul implies moral tension. When do you decide to return it? At what cost? What part of your power is sacrificed to bring someone back? Here fits the symbol of the flower. It is not decoration. It is a promise of rebirth. And if Rumi reaches that level, her confrontation with Celine rises 3 levels in intensity. Because yes, Celine, as the true villain, is the thread that weaves everything together. Her role as a reliable figure opens the door to the internal villain, the one that hides in the system, not in the shadows. If Celine pulled the strings directly or indirectly for the rise of the boys, her motivation must be personal or ritual. What ties her to that plan? Here's another echo that the movie suggested to us. Rumi's mom. Declaring her dead leaves intact the card of she wasn't dead, she was hidden, locked away, ritualized. If Celine needed a power anchor to build a hybrid army or to open a rift between worlds, who better than the mother of the most powerful hybrid? Imagine this. Part 2 opens with the hunters celebrating the temporary peace. Suddenly, Babisher bursts in with a cryptic message. It wasn't against you, it was against her. The tension skyrockets. Mystery appears in the heights, intact, and romance emerges with a different rhythm, as if someone, Celine, had reprogrammed them. And Abby? She returns with scars that are not physical, signs of a pact. Each one brings a fragment of information pointing to a greater ritual, and the final piece is Rumi. No, they want to destroy her. They need her to complete the circle. Plot twist kofte, and the best is yet to come. The final battle of the first movie was not the closure, it was the rehearsal. That red smoke from Mystery anticipates new demonic defenses. The off-screen disappearance of Romance anticipates a redesign of abilities. Abby's dubious combustion anticipates the strategic lie. And in the center, Rumi with the flower on the sword, holding a heartbeat that is not only hers. If the sequel explores literal rebirth, it won't be a "hello, I'm Be," it will be an act of balance, saving Ginu without breaking Rumi. Now, let's zoom in on the detail that many overlook, which reveals how the creative team thinks. When you pause the movie at rare moments, frames appear that seem like inside jokes. Extra eyes, impossible proportions. Zoe almost poking Rumi's eyes out with the ribbons. Ginu's enlarged foot, extras catching hearts off guard. And yes, that shot where it seems like Romance is adjusting something for Abby mid-slide. The internet had a field day with that. What do those frames tell us? That the animators play with the limit of visual gag and exaggeration to camouflage the power transitions and attack timing. When someone doesn't die, and you think they do, it's because there was technical magic between 2 frames. The visual language will return in the sequel, but taken to the next level. In terms of structure, expect an introduction that recaps the consequences of the battle. A development where loyalties become grey, a climax that reveals Celine's true motives and the whereabouts of Rumi's mom, and an ending that is not an ending, but an opening. To a third act. The responsible rebirth of Ginu, not gratuitous, with Rumi paying a price that defines her identity. And here goes a prediction I'm happy to make. If Magic Kang says the SAJABOys are alive, the sequel won't use them as monsters of the week. They will be functional antagonists for half of the footage and uncomfortable allies in the final stretch. The reason? Only they know a path to where Celine doesn't want anyone to look. And if that path touches Rumi's mom, the board becomes a family puzzle with very high emotional stakes. When the enemy you hate offers you the only clue to recover someone you love, you don't choose out of desire. You choose out of necessity. But wait, because this doesn't end here. Keep this roadmap when you watch the battle in slow motion again. Look for smoke, defense, or demonic movement. Note the exits from the frame, they survive. Be wary of deaths without direct impact. Doubles, funks, replacements. Follow the flower. Life, rebirth, death. With that, all roads lead to the same crossroads. Rumi vs. Celine bis uno then twice is, with Ginu beating a breath away and the SAJABOys tempting us with that delicious ambiguity between danger and rescue. Postali Arindas, if you made it this far,
You're already inside the circle. When they announce the date, we'll be ready to pause at the right frame, read the symbols, and separate the comedic from the canonical. Because Demon Hunters rewards the fan who watches twice and doubts 3 times.
Close with a promise and a gentle shiver. If Celine is the invisible hand and Rumi's mom the key, part 2 will play with what hurts the most. Besia, ni si este stuff pasi.
Choose who to say first. And I'm telling you now, no one comes out unscathed from a decision like that. Not even those who returned from death with a song stuck to their soul. Activate the bell if you want more hidden secrets of the group, and theory by theory, we will hunt down every clue before Celine turns off the light.